Okay, Kum, salutations, peace to the prime, 747 24/7, 361 degrees. Um, just allow me about 2 minutes to do some invites, some shares, and whatnot. I know it's kind of windy out here, so bear with me. Bear with me. We out here in nature. We enjoying a little bit of life. All right. I will put today's date in a codex before I do some invites. Just give me a couple seconds and I got you. Today is a special day. Today is an alignment day of sort. Thank you. Shout out to all the Messiah Code All Stars. Yo, can y'all hear me loud and clear? Just let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear? Let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know if you can hear me, yes or no. All right, I'm gonna do some invites and some shares, get the party started. Um, and we're gonna do this. I love y'all. 747 24/7. Of course, you said loud and clear. Loud and clear. All right, that's cool. All right, loud and clear. Let me do some invites and some shares to just get the party started. If you in here, share the video. I appreciate that. And I'll talk about today's energies. And I'll just talk about the Messiah Code, of course, as always. And if you don't know what the Messiah Code is, we'll break some of that information down to you today. All right. So, like I said, just give me just just about one more minute just to get everything situated. I love y'all. Thank you for everybody that supports in the YouTube, and thank you for everybody that supports on the Facebook. All right. You said take your time. Thank you, Queen. Thank you. I appreciate you. Sister LaUnc, the Messiah Code. Um, I'm almost done and I'll be ready to get started. Yo, again, today is a special day of alignment. Today is 12/22/12. Wow. We are we are in the 12th month, the 22nd moon, and the 12th day. All right. So I got y'all. I'll be ready to start in about one more minute. Okay. So shout out to everybody that supports as well. I got the email going across the screen, and the email is basically for wow. The email is for anybody that doesn't have a book, that's interested in a book. I'll make sure I send a book out to you. All right. Yeah, I make sure I send a book out to you. All you have to do is just email the movement, and it is what it is. All right. So that's it. I'm gonna say thank you. I'm gonna start the build. I guess I'm done the invites. Thank you for everybody in the YouTube, and also thank you for everybody in the Facebook as well. All right. I'm gonna start the build. All right. So let me do this. Thank you. All right. So okay. So peace to the gods. Peace to the goddesses, the kings, the queens, the emperors, and the empresses. Peace to everybody that supports the movement. You know who you are. You know who we are. You know what this is all about. All right. I am the Solar Prime Supreme Minister of the Messiah Code movement, known as 131 Lazarus Lamel. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Messiah Code, we literally talk about numbers that flow between 1 and 31. All right. 1 and 31, 1 through 31 would actually represent the sacred name, would represent the sacred name, which is Lamel. All right. The sacred name, which is Lamel 131. And, excuse me, the sacred name. And also, it's the sacred number. All right. Shout out to the matriarch LLC in the building. My sister Akshita Vita, the Gentaro, the General. You already know what it is. Ucha, salutations, peace to the primes. All right. So I begin to talk about that. Um, it's the fact that the Messiah Code represents the sacred name and also the sacred number. If I ask everyone what is their birthday will flow between a 1 and 31 number, or it will flow between a 1 and 9 number. All right. And you might say, what is the difference? Or why would you say that? Well, the 1 through 9, which is the sacred number 19, would represent your alpha, and omega. All right. Okay. The one The 1 through 9 would represent your beginning and the end. All right. Your lowest and your highest. All right. And then you got the 1 through 31. 1 through 31 is symbolic to the same thing because it would represent the first and the last. All right. Because again, when your birthday falls, either between a 1 and 31 number. So that alpha and omega principle is still one and the same. All right. So as of March 1st, as of March, I don't want to call it March 1st, but I'll do it for everyone. All right. As of March 1st, 2017, we came into a new calendar or a new age. All right. Which is called information. All right. You may call it Aquarius. It's many other names that they call it. Depends on what calendar you use. But just moving through the procession of time, the 26,000 years, the 26,000 years, we are in a 2,160 year period, and this 2,160 year period would be considered that of Aquarius. All right, so give or take is 2,160 years. It depends on how we move throughout the galaxy. I'm not going to say anything is really absolute when it comes to that, because the variant of speed, um, it differs from time to time. Okay, so boom, just sharing some information. So thank you. So you got the high and low. The 1 through 31 is also symbolic of the same thing. But the 1 through 31, as in being the sacred name, if you look at your hand, if you ever did the sacred symbol of Lamel, the sacred hand of Lamel, one of the sacred hands that I share with everyone is called the Miwi. And this Miwi hand is not really something that really comes from Star Trek. It is symbolic of the Hebrew Shin, which is also symbolic of peace. If you look at this symbol, it's one and the same. But also, what you see with this symbol, you see the male and female both on one hand, as in representing a universal symbol of peace on one hand. So this was not peace, representing peace for our people. No, this was separation of man and woman. All right, or taking someone's food in a sense. All right. So we did this as a sign of peace. But now I'm bringing you to a universal symbol of peace with your hand, which is called the miwi. All right, and that's the symbol of the man and the woman on one hand, on one hand. All right, but the next symbol I showed you was the hand of Lamel. Now the hand of Lamel carries that of cow or sail, or cow and sail, or cow or sail. Now remember I told y'all, I said when we came into the new age of what is considered to be information, what happened was a mothership landed. Now you might say, did this mothership come in a spaceship or something like that? No, not exactly. The mothership was a state of consciousness when the mothers and fathers landed on the hearts and minds of those that sought them out. All right. So it was an awareness that was going on that dropped in 2017, and we came into a new age, what is considered to be information. And at that day and time, March 1st, 2017, our calendar became the 13th month, the first day, the first moon, and the first day. Excuse me. Where when you see like the Bible or scriptures and you see two dots next to the various different scriptures, right? It's saying that, even though it's in a verse format, in actuality, they associate these two dots with time. They're saying that this is actually symbolic of something that happened in a degree of time. You got to peep game on that when you actually read the Bible, or you read the Quran, and you see the format of how they give it to you. You see the format, they give you the two dots in a verse format, but the two dots, what I'm telling you, is symbolic of a clock of sort. All right, so when we came into the new age, we inserted two more dots. We inserted two more dots because this would be the point after Revelations. All right, because literally, what is considered to be prophetical in the book of Revelations literally already happened. All right. So we live in a new age and time where everything has or is becoming new. And we have the opportunity of influence within this age. All right. So let me see. You yes, yes, you're right. The sheen, the same thing. And this would represent peace and tranquility. That's what I'm saying. Like when you say shalom, you use the same letter. You use the same letter to represent peace and tranquility. All right. So, moving back to the sacred name and the sacred number being that of Lamel. All right. And the fact that the Messiah is here. Now, when I say the Messiah and when I talk about it, and I'm gonna bring it back when I talk about the mothership too, because I know people want me to elaborate on that subject about the mothership. All right, but let me just elaborate on the thought of the Messiah. Now, Messiah is simply a principle. If you want to really get to the root of the matter. It would be a principle that one can embrace, just like any other principle of spirituality, that people embrace. Like you can go into the various different netures or netcheru of ancient Kemet, and what you'll see is that these netures, they represent, or netcheru, they actually represent principles that one embraces. But what people got to realize is that the Messiah or the Messiahship is actually a principle that one embraces as well. All right. And even when you think about the word Christ, when you think about the word Christ coming from the ancient Egyptian word karas, you look at the word, you look at karas is actually symbolic of a container that houses the spiritual body forever. All right, a container that houses the spiritual body forever. Okay, so that would be a karas, where they grafted the word Christ, or that's associated with the Messiah, where they grafted that word from, but they're associated with the same principle of resurrection within your mind, your spirit, and your soul. All right, it depends on how you gravitate towards the message or the principles of the deities. Or I'm not even going to say deities, I'm going to say ancestors. All right. So, not to just get far fetched off the subject, You know, when we talk about the Messiah, we're talking about a leader. Hear me out. We're talking about a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause when we talk about a Messiah. Now, anybody can embrace this principle. You might say, why is anybody can embrace this principle? Is because, it's work to be done in God's plan. It's work to be done in God's plan. So when you see Messiah, you see it right there. A Messiah is a leader or a savior of a particular group or a cause. So you got to figure out where you stand at in this. What message you must give to the people, all right, in a sense. Because, I told people, I said, look, you know, it's either you living in the matrix or what they call the dunya, or you living in what is called the kitab or the book. All right. Now, the book, the great book, is that you're a part of world history. The Bible, or what's considered to be the Bible, is about to be um literally renamed and called the Codex. All right, where no one can say we're going to separate world history and comprise it in 66 measures. All right, that's not going to happen no longer. What's going to happen in a new age of information? We're going to we're going to have a new Bible that's going to be placed in our hands or written by our hands. All right, and that's going to be the Codex, and it's going to be literally a connection of world history. All right, and you might say, how can we have the capacity to do such a thing, Lamel? Well, in actuality, we already have the tools to do it with what came out in 2012, something called IPv6. All right. So when they issue IPv6, it's basically this: in order to get on the internet, to get on the network, you need a address. All right. Now, it's not only you that need an address, it's certain things that need addresses as well if they're going to be on the internet. All right. So when they came up with IPv6, they literally made it where as though every living creature, every living substance could be measured or put in the box of the network or be remembered of sort in some sort of way. So in this new age of information, this is what's going to happen. That's what's going that's what's going to be our Bible, the Codex. All right. So you can compare the Codex to a tree that has been chopped down. You might say, why is that? Because you chop down the tree, but the roots remain. The roots remain. The roots remain still for you to travel back home. All right. So I want you to know that when it comes to spirituality or connecting up to a greater consciousness of yourself, the roots still remain even though they chopped down the tree. All right, and gave you pages. Now, boom. Now I wanted to elaborate on today's date. All right, and I got y'all on that. I wanted to elaborate. First, know that today is Istatar. Istatar. Today is the day of vibration. You measure, every day has a principle aligned with it. All right. So Sunday would be the day of the mind, which would be Aglu. Monday would be Katukfin. All right, which would be basically as above, so below, or correspondence. All right. And then you got Tuesday would be vibration, Istatar. And then you got Wednesday would be polarity, Yashalet. And then you got Thursday would be Afoy, Afoy, and that would be rhythm. And then you got Friday would be Sabo Batator, which would be cause and effect. And then you got Saturday, which would be Sawuf. Sawuf would be gender. So every day is based upon a principle of sort that you can connect up to manifest a mode of reality within this plane of thought, which we call the mainframe consciousness. All right. So you got 7 layers of this of these principles of sort that you can gravitate towards. All right. So, but today is the day of vibration. It's vibratory. All right. Today's Tuesday. Today's the day of war as well, because who governs Tuesday? Mars, the god of war. I mean, if you want to associate it with the god of war, but if you switch Mars up, you actually can associate it with the word war. All right. That's why I always tell people operate from the dot, so you can see from the center, so you can see things scrambled and you can also see things straight. All right. So moving forward, all right. So in when we came into the new age of information, we were given 392 days in our calendar. All right. 300 392 days. I'm not going to call them days. I'll call them days and moons, or moons and days. How about that? I'm going to say moons and days. All right. When we came into the new age of information, right? We were we came into a cycle. It's not a cycle based on the sun. See, the sun, you might say a solar year is 365 days. Lamel, what are you doing? Like, you switching us up. No, we don't worship the sun. All right. We worship um literally the inner sun, which is which seats at our solar plexus. All right. The inner sun, solar, sits within the center of our being. All right. So, you know, no, we move on cycles. Y'all hear me? We move on cycles. So one of the cycles that we move on is the cycle of seven and the principle of seven. If you think about creation, it was done in a principle of 7 days or 7 layers. So why would you stray away from that? Okay, if you look at the 365-day calendar, it is not evenly divisible by seven. So thus, we do not utilize that calendar as a mode of cycles. All right, we go back to the seven, and what we do is utilize the parts of what you consider to be Anno Domini, which is A and D. The A being the first letter of the alphabet, and D being the fourth letter of the alphabet. The number 14 being also the 14 body parts of Osir, Osir, however you want to pronounce his name. All right. Um, we use 14 times 28 because the 28 equals the 28 days in each month. Now you could say, man, it's probably 29.5 days, Lamel. I got you on that one because the moon is not really our moon. I'm telling you that right now. What you consider to be the solar is not our moon. I mean, the lunar, that it's a satellite that goes around the planet. It's not our moon. Our moon is Saturn. Our sun, our center is Jupiter. I just want y'all to know that. Now you might say, why is that? I mean, it's a fractal pattern of sort. It's a fractal pattern of as above, so below, if you want to call it that. Because if you look at the time that the moon, it can take the moon about 29.5 days to go around the Earth. But Saturn, it takes 29.5 years to go around the zodiac. All right. So to make a full circle in the zodiac. Boom. So that's why it's connected as our moon, as Chronos. All right. Because you would think month and moon are synonymous to measure. Okay. So Saturn would be our moon, and then our center or sun or sun or sen or sunner or center or sun would be Jupiter. Y'all hear me? That would be Jupiter. That takes 12 years to go around the zodiac, as opposed to 12 months to go around the zodiac. Y'all hear me? So that one, that's that right there. So boom. Now you got 14 months in the calendar. 28 days in each month. Only thing you have to do is follow the turtle's back. Literally. You follow the turtle's back, because when you go around the turtle, you got 28 days. But when you go within the turtle, you got 13 months. You want to say, but I thought we got 14 months. That's right. Because the 13 months are based upon the lunar cycle, but when you think about the 14 months, we're talking about the cycle of the body of Osiris, which would be 14. All right, which would connect up to 14, connecting up with also 28 times 28. So thus you got 392 days in our cycle. So our calendar moves throughout what is considered to be the solar seasons. Okay, so you might have, the first of the year, 10 years from now or 10 cycles from now, it would be in the summertime as opposed to being in the wintertime. Y'all hear me? So that's how that moves. Just like Ramadan, it moves like it's a living calendar. That's how it's supposed to be in a sense. All right. So just sharing that information with everyone so we can be clear and we can have a little bit of connection. So when we think about it's funny when we think about the number 12. I got something for y'all. I'm putting it in the comment section. When we think about the number 12, we also can think about El Bari, which is the 12th attribute. The 12th attribute. And this 12th attribute, El Bari, which would be the maker of order, which would be the maker of order. This is also connected up to the zodiac, the 12th canopy in the sky. All right. Now, I got something for you as well because if you go to the mathematics, if you go to the mathematics, well, the supreme grandmother and grandfather mathematics, what would be number 12? All right. Number 12 would represent Zaru. Now, remember, Zaru is the birch tree, which is the Betel SEI tree that connects up with our people. All right. And we utilize that tree to forge books. Okay. We utilize that book to forge books. So let me do this all over. I try to put the Arabic as well as the English. But in the supreme grandmother and grandfather mathematics, love is the unconditional emotion of empathy, the chain of connection that binds two or what more people together, and it's also considered to be the force that carries life to the destination of existence. All right. That would be love in the supreme grandmother and grandfather mathematics. Now, you might say love means something else in the Webster dictionary, Lamel. I'm not utilizing the Webster's dictionary. I'm utilizing what is considered to be um, an acronym of sort. If you go into the supreme grandmother and grandfather mathematics, once you master all the acronym of letters, it's up to you to create your own acronym of of words and meanings. So that's what that's about. All right, it's an exercise of sort to tap into one's uniqueness and one's creativity. All right, and what a word has means to them. All right, or what it means universally to many. Okay. So yeah. So you got the 12. So today's 12. And then you go 22. So 22 of course is victory. Yes, 22 represents victory. Now, as you know, the 12 guards the right collarbone of the Messiah. It guards the right collarbone of the Messiah, which deals with hardship. Okay, deals with the workman's collar, which is the blue collar. Okay, but you got victory. Victory is the successful outcome of what any challenge or endeavor. So you know, it's many ways to win a war. It's many ways to win a war. You may lose a few battles. I want to let you know that. You may lose a few battles, but the objective is to win the war. I want you to know. So don't get discouraged when you lose a few battles within the war that you're going through. I just want you to know. All right? Just win the war. You hear me? So the victory is the successful outcome of any challenge or endeavor. Okay? You hear me on that one for all the messiahs. So today's concentration is on what? Today's on love and it's on victory and what else? Because I said that today's alignment back to 12 because today's 12, 22, 12. Today's the 12th month, the 22 moon, and uh, the 12th day. Now, there you go. In the new age of information, today would be considered the 12th month, the 12th um the 12th month, the 22nd moon, and the 12th day. All right? That's right. You master the supreme grandmother and grandfather mathematics. You master that. And after you master it, you create your own acronym for each letter of the alphabet. But remember, it's 31 um, letters in the alphabet. It's not 26 letters. 26 is where they locked you in because remember, 26 represents the procession of time that you're locked in. Wow. Yes, the 26,000 years. And 26, if you look at it in the Codex, it looks like, man, the 26th letter, it actually looks like the horns of Hathor turned to the side because it's a bracket. It's a bracket to lock you in. But when you unlocked it, you unlocked three letters with three knocks. When you unlock the doorways to L, or what is called the elders. When you unlock that door, you unlocked it with three knocks, which is the letter C. So you was given three extra letters. You might say, what letters are those? The letters are, well, you was given five, but three of them you can pronounce. Two of them you cannot pronounce. Three of them you can pronounce. Two of them you cannot pronounce in a certain way. They're silent letters. So you got the Cha, which is the Holy Ghost, the Chaforu, which is the 27th letter, which represent 2-7. 2-7. You see it? 2-7, which is the Holy Ghost when it came into form, where it's coming. And where is it going at? It's going into the shell, which is the SH letter, the 28th letter of the alphabet. SH, which is shell. Because the Chaforu, the Holy Ghost, after it was locked in or after it came out of the lock, after it knocked at the door and opened the door, all right, and came into the third planet of from the sun, all right. What happened is it went into the shell, and that's why I said the Karas, which is Christ, where they get the word Christ, is a container that houses the mind or the spiritual body forever. That houses the mind or the spiritual body forever. So this was almost the same thing in essence because it became the shell, the shell of the Cha. And then what happened? Stop. Everything began. Everything stopped or everything started and began. And then that's when you became a what? A Lamel, a Lemel, which is a female Messiah, a Lemel, or you can consider a female, which is Lemel, female, and then or a Lamel, which is the male, or a masculine. And there you got your five extra letters. But three of them you pronounce. Because when I gave you the information of the Messiah, I told y'all this. Real simple, yo. I said, yo, they never attached no Bible to your ass. The Bible, you are a part and parcel of the Bible, which is the Codex. You create the Bible through world history, period. All right. And we like the universe, we're all children of the universe, everything, including the animals. All right. I'm just saying if you want to look at it like that. All right. But yeah, man, like that those man, damn, I just got lost in my thoughts real quick. Yo, this is real information, yo. You know what I'm saying? This is real information. That's all I gotta say. You know, um, when back again, I caught my thought what I was saying. Yeah, you wasn't attached with no Bible, so you was given numbers and letters. And you might say, well, what letters was we given? They were you might call them epistles, pistols like letters. Yeah, like the letters you was given, like they changed these into scriptures in the Bible, epistles. You know what I mean? The same thing. But I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about letters like Allah, which is a vowel and a consonant, because that's what you said as a child. You said Allah. You said the word Allah. You said the word Allah, which was a vowel and a consonant. So when you looked on your hand and your toes, you saw the numbers, which was binary, which was binary. All right. You saw 10 numbers, which was your 10 command keys, all right, which was binary. There go your 10 commandments right there. And then you got your letters, which you spoke. The letters, you spoke the letters. It's the same thing. It's all symbolic, yo. You spoke the letters and you said Allah, Allah, Allah. All right? Real simple. So that's where they get the shell. Yes, SH. The shell. All right? So I'm going to leave y'all at that. I'm going to say I love y'all. 747 24/7, 361 degrees. Shout out to my 1221s. You know what it is. I love you. You love me. Me is Wade. Today is a special moment. Today is 12/22. Today is 12/22. 12 in the Codex. All right. Shout out to everybody that supports the movement. Coom. You know what it is. All right. Peace.